Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I got invited to cover Crispifest. In Boiling Springs, right off Highway 9, at New Groove is where I spent most of my time. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started brewing beer in the neighborhood. They had one too many, and Beer Me GVL got fright. He said, "Take your butt back to Columbia tonight." I whistled for a cab, but when it came near, the license plates were fresh, had anime in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but thought, nah, forget it, you're home, so New Groove. I pulled up to the house about 10 a.m. and I yelled to the cab, "You home, smell you later." I looked at the brewery, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Crispifest.
Out here with more from Crispifest with a brewery in the Boiling Springs area. I'm here 3 miles down the road. Plankowner Brewing, great friend of the brand of this show, of previous shows. Plankowner Brewing Company, Kyle Grove.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. So, being that this is the second coming of this festival, what did it mean for Plankowner to come out to kind of like continue the cohesiveness of the Boiling Springs community with these crispy beers and festivals?
So this is our actual first time at Crispifest.
Okay.
So we were not invited last year, but we were invited this year. And I think New Groove did a great job this year of inviting more local breweries. And I get it, last year they wanted to, draw a crowd and bring in stuff that you can't normally get, right? And then this year they kind of opened it up to everybody. And I'm super happy to be here. I just love all the light crisp beers that are just like kind of taking over the craft beer world by storm.
How
to its roots.
How there is that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm someone that frequently proclaims hashtag every season is stout season, but this is crispy season to most people. So how does the Plankowner brand play to the demand, being in these hot mid-80s, high 80s, low 90s type of South Carolina southern weather?
So we definitely flipped the menu almost like 180 versus our winter menu. So right now we have 4 lagers on tap versus in the wintertime, we have 1 lager on tap and 7 stouts on tap. So we definitely try and play to the seasons, and you kind of have to. And in the summertime we do fruited beers and light lagers and sours, and then in the wintertime we switch gears and do nut brown ales and stouts and wee heavies and Belgian quads. And
I love how you just snuck in a wee heavy.
There was one here today at Crispifest, and I haven't actually brewed one at Plankowner yet, so I think that is a new beer to come at Plankowner.
Sean, let this man brew a wee heavy.
Right?
Anyway, let's talk about what you did bring. So, you did bring an IPA, which was
an IPL.
IPL. Oh, it's an IPL. That's right. Yes, you're correct. Thank you.
Yep.
That IPL was a collaboration with the Pink Boot Society.
Yes.
And you did bring a lager, which fits into the crispy. Well, I guess an IPL does too.
Yeah.
But a traditional lager that fits into the Crispifest theme.
Right.
Now, when I walked in, I knew you were going to be here, and I'm thinking like, okay, Plankowner, Crispy Boy, they're going to walk in with Seaside. Now, I walked over to your tent, and it was not Seaside. So, tell me a little bit about what was the traditional lager that you brought in that was not your flagship lager.
So, our flagship lager is Seaside Lager, and that's our traditional American light style lager. But we wanted to bring to a festival. I usually try and bring new stuff or different stuff or stuff that you can't always get in the tap room, right? So everybody in Boiling Springs hopefully has tasted Seaside Lager at least once. right? So to bring to a beer fest in Boiling Springs, I wanted to bring something a little different, something a little new. The Gulf Coast Time Lager is brand new. We just tapped it last Friday. So
Super fresh.
So 8 days old. And then I didn't think anybody else would have an IPL, an India Pale Lager, so like a hobby lager. Turns out I was a little wrong. So there's a new style of beer that I was unaware of called a West Coast Pilsner.
There's been a few of them today.
There are 5 or 6 West Coast Pilsners here, and I have been joking with some of the other brewers today. And what is the difference between your West Coast Pilsner and my India Pale Lager and your cold IPA? The answers are
the lines are starting to get blended a little bit.
Very much so. Everybody has agreed, like, let's just pick a term and stick with it for a hoppy lager. Like, let's pick one.
So, do you think that West Coast Pilsner is comparable to IPL, cold IPA? Do you think they're all the same thing?
I think it's all the same thing.
Okay.
Now, there are people who will drastically disagree with me with the cold IPA, but the West Coast Pilsner and the IPL, so, West Coast Pils is a Pilsner dry hopped with American hops. And an IPL is an India Pale, like a lager that's dry hopped. It's a hobby lager.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? I don't know. I mean, American hops versus British hops, like, sure, but it's the same thing.
So why did you choose to bring this Gulf Coast lager versus your traditional standby seaside?
So it's brand new. I wanted to introduce it to the masses. Something different than we don't normally do. I really enjoy it. I really like it. I think it's a good offering for an 85-degree day. Like, we're out here sweating. I think a lime lager fits in the day perfect.
How do you think of, from a brewer's perspective, from a technical perspective, you've put out a lot of flagship hazies from Plankowner.
Yeah.
So, do you enjoy brewing those that are a quicker turn, or do you enjoy brewing these experimental lagers to kind of set you apart from traditional lagers? Do you enjoy brewing those more?
Personally, I enjoy brewing the IPAs more. I enjoy experimenting with the hops and the hop combos and the citrus and the bitterness. But the lager game is brand new to me, and we are diving into that entire world, and it's been fun to see it's just not lager, pilsner, Czech Pils. Like, there's an entire gambit of lager beers, pilsner beers that IPLs, West Coast Pils, whatever you want to call them. There's an entire new school of beer that's coming out in craft beer right now, and the lager is the name of the game right now.
Coming up here from South Florida, people think Florida, it's as hot as it is here, it's a lot hotter in Florida.
Yes, it is.
So,
yes.
Being you have more of an affinity towards brewing hazies, how is that juxtaposed to each other? Like, okay, I'm from South Florida, I should like brewing and drinking clear lagers. So, it should be easy to me to brew hazies.
No, so you would think that, right?
Yeah.
But in South Florida, there are no seasons. It is summertime.
We have 2 weeks in January.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is summertime 365 days a year. So pastry stouts are in season 365 days a year. Whether it's January or it's June, people want a pastry stout.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
If that's what they want, that's what they want.
Right. There are no seasons. as they are up here. So the lager game really never took off in South Florida as far as I'm concerned. The New England IPAs and the pastry stouts have just taken over South Florida, and they don't care that it's 90 degrees when they're drinking an 11% mushroom, marshmallow stout. They love it.
Mushroom.
I don't know where
Mushroom.
mushroom came from. Sorry.
I hope it's mushroom. I love mushroom. Are you sneaking in?
Why not?
What do you think of Kyle's lagers? Because it's not Seaside. This is not
Everything
Seaside.
Kyle does fucks, okay?
It fucks. I like that.
Fucking rules.
Plankowner brand. Someone comes out to Plankowner 3 miles down the road from where we are right here.
Yes.
Pick the flight. Dealer's choice flight. Someone comes in, they don't know, but some elbow as far as what they're getting. What are you giving them on a flight?
All right, so you gotta try Seaside Lager, the #1 selling light beer. You gotta try Mermaid Tears, our #1 selling IPA. You gotta try John Paul Jones, our #1 selling amber ale. And then to me, you either have to try the Under the Black Flag, which is our Imperial Stout, or my chocolate milk stout Tempest on Nitro.
On Nitro.
If you're a fan of Guinness, you will absolutely love Tempest on Nitro. Chocolate milk stout.
What do you want?
King Neptune.
King Neptune is my favorite beer out there.
King Neptune and
That Dunkel we got is pretty good. What's it called?
Uncle's got it.
What was the name of that? What was the name of
Not a
that?
pirate ship.
Not a pirate ship.
But another one is the fuck.
I don't know.
So here, dropping profanity on my YouTube channel. This freaking guy.
Guy,
There's a freaking
guy, get out of the shot, guy.
Then I missed it, but
Wow.
Get King Neptune or Mermaid Tears.
Top 2 IPAs we have. King Neptune.
Pick one. Pick one. I know it's like choosing between your firstborn and your secondborn, but
King Neptune double IPA, West Coast style. Hashtag West is bestie. I don't know.
yeah. Beamer GVL, I don't know where he is, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Kyle, thank you, brother, for hopping
Absolutely.
on
Cheers,
as
brother.
always.
I appreciate it.